The rule of threes in Railway Empire 2. What is it exactly? That's what we're going to talk about. So here we're going to zoom in on Omaha just as an example. So Omaha is kind of like a hub. I have my maintenance depot there, so they're getting their maintenance. Of course, I threw in a post office because why not? So if we just look at this express station on the bottom of Omaha, we have Omaha to Des Moines to Rock Island. Then down below we have Omaha to Kansas City, Omaha to North Platte over to Denver, and Omaha to Topeka down to Wichita. Now I want to point out something. Each one has its separate lines here. This one's got line 1, 2. Over here they got line 3, 4. Here we go 5, 6, 7, 8. And I do not mix these lines together. I try not to have like a gridiron of 4, let's say, for example. Now, if we come down to one of them, Kansas City, I want you to see something. This is a gridiron here going to Topeka because I really don't have a choice. But notice there's no gridiron here because we're going from Omaha straight through the Kansas City. Yes, we're picking people up here, but then we're going to continue on over to Columbia. Now, Columbia does have a gridiron because we need to turn our train around. So see how that works. There's no reason to put, we get rid of that. There's no reason to have a gridiron right here. None whatsoever. And so don't put gridirons in your middle train. Now 3 works better, and the reason is, notice here, I have 4 sets of runs out of this one express station using double tracks. So that's pretty good. And then if you look up here, I got like 4 more on this one. And so it's also doing the same thing up north. But let's say you just have one, for instance. So we come back with this one. So if you only have one, we're hitting, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities from this one, all with double trains, and each section has 6. Now you could adjust these numbers some too, but you see what I mean, how well that works? And there's really there's no backups whatsoever here. Everything's working pretty good. And this is what you should do. Then in Kansas City, you can come down, you can put in your restaurant and your post office. And even over in Columbia, let's say, restaurant, post office. See how you don't need a maintenance? A long time ago, I was putting maintenance at every second city. I really don't think you have to. If we have maintenance in Omaha, now we can progress. Say Columbia, for instance, we could come Columbia to St. Louis. St. Louis could have a post office and restaurant. Then we could come over to Louisville, and Louisville would say need the maintenance depot because we'd have a run from Columbia to St. Louis to Louisville and back. Now in St. Louis, we wouldn't have gridirons. In Columbia, we would. In Louisville, we would. And so down in Columbia, we'd say right here, we only use line 1, 2, maybe say line 3, 4 would be the one that would go through Columbia or St. Louis's 1, 2, then over to Louisville's 1, 2. We put a maintenance depot in Louisville, and then we could use it to spoke out as well. It could be the hub, so it could go, say, Indianapolis to Chicago. Chicago wouldn't need a maintenance depot, neither would Indianapolis, and we could get extra bonus from them, and Louisville would be our maintenance depot. Then we could maybe come over here. Let's say maybe Toledo, Grand Rapids could be another spoke. Then maybe we could go Parkersburg, Pittsburgh, or Parkersburg, Cleveland could be another spoke. And then here it's a little, maybe down south here, we could do Nashville, Memphis. And you see how that works? Like keep going in 3s and try to strategically pick your cities. So you're only putting a maintenance depot every 5th city. See, we'd have Omaha has 1, so Kansas City would be 2, Columbia would be 3, St. Louis would be 4, and then we'd have to put one in Louisville, so every 5th city would have a maintenance depot. And the only outliers would be, say, if we want to run from Rock Island to Columbia here, neither one has a maintenance depot. We'd have to run a line just straight between them. No big deal. We just put a random station in the middle here, and we could just put a maintenance depot on that and run our lines through. And then that way we're still keeping our bonus modifiers from Columbia and from Rock Island, but we're running it through this maintenance depot. Technically, if you want to be real aggressive, what you really could do, actually, now that I just think of it, You could take out your maintenance depots in all your cities and just put your bonuses and stick a station in the middle here that can do your maintenance for you. That's also something you can do. So that's the rule of threes.